Who else will enter the race? As you know, that's also another big question. But Jim Webb really with some strong words about the power structure and the money that's involved with politics today, and candidates being pulled to the extreme and not liking that and enjoying being able to work across the aisle with different people. Ed Henry is standing by. He's live in Washington with the latest on that. And Ed, he seemed to really zero in on one of the comments that Hillary Clinton made, although he didn't reference it directly during the debate about the question was something about the greatest enemy that she's made over the years, and she ended on after a long list Republicans, and he not indirectly really went after that in the few lines that we just heard.
Yes, and in that Democratic debate, Hillary Clinton also mentioned Iranians as being an enemy of hers, and then Republicans right after that. That's something that really upset GOP leaders, and clearly it upset Jim Webb and Vice President Joe Biden, who, by the way, is mulling whether to jump into this race. As Jim Webb gets out, maybe Joe Biden is going to get in. And Biden, 2 days in a row now, has mentioned that Republicans, he says, are my friends. Two different speeches. Doesn't mention Hillary Clinton by name, doesn't mention the enemy comment, but you can hear this thread now developing among some other Democrats who feel like her comment was out of step. In terms of Jim Webb and the relevance here, he didn't have much relevance in the polls. You're absolutely right. And so he didn't have much impact on the Democratic race. But a couple things. Number one, as you say, also, you make an important point, Jenna, that this has sort of become the year of the outsider on the Republican side. Here on the Democratic side, Jim Webb brought a lot of experience to the table. Former Secretary of Navy, former senator, had some serious national security credentials, wasn't really valued in this campaign year, number one. And number two, that point you make about the extremes in politics on the right and the left. This is someone who served as Secretary of Navy under President Ronald Reagan, reached across the aisle, served in the Senate as a Democrat, served in the Reagan administration. That is not being valued by voters right now. You see in the Republican primaries, more of a race to the right. And on the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton's been all about trying to blunt the damage from Bernie Sanders, run to the left, flip-flop on key positions like the Trans-Pacific Partnership. So where do we go from here? I think the major point moving forward that our viewers should take away is that Jim Webb is also saying in his remarks, and we've got a copy of them, that he is leaving his options open for an independent run. And you know what? We heard the mainstream media spend a lot of time on what if Donald Trump runs as an independent? That will throw the election to the Democrats. Well, what if Jim Webb runs as an independent? Didn't have much traction as a Democrat. But remember, he was elected statewide as a senator in that battleground of Virginia. If he runs as an independent, takes votes away from Hillary Clinton or whomever is a Democratic nominee in 2016, Virginia, North Carolina, Colorado, some of these battleground states, that could have an impact, Jenna.
Very interesting. So this is a breaking development, at least on the Democratic side, and we'll see what happens from here. As you point out, Ed, a lot to still continue to watch. Thank you so much.
Good to see you.